Hey world, I'm Tamara Jasmine with JasmineSoiree, and I have a special guest with me. So to me, someone that's iconic, Lil Eazy-E.
How you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
Good. So first off, welcome to Arkansas.
Thank you.
So is this your first time in the city?
Yes, it has been. Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yes, it is.
so let's talk about what this experience has been.
Pretty good. Kind of just did a lot of studio runs all the time. Sorry. I kind of did a lot of studio runs when I first got here.
Okay.
And then they took me to, quote unquote, when you come, you got to go to the hood.
Yeah, you got to check out all the spots.
Yeah. Then,
Yeah.
I had my performance at TWA, and then I'm here at CC's and had
Yep.
have me a good meal before I get on this flight.
Shout out to CC's Chicken and
Most definitely.
Waffles.
She very took care of us, you know what I mean? So shout out to CC. I appreciate it. It was beautiful and very good.
That's what happens when you come to Arkansas.
Oh, is it hospitality?
Yeah, hospitality.
Oh, well, that's beautiful. I'm going to come back then.
So let me tell you how this is like a full circle moment for me. So I'm born and raised Los Angeles, California.
Are you?
Graduated from Crenshaw High School.
I don't hear the accent, so I gotta tell that.
Well, I've been here enough, so I've kind of lost the Cali girl.
No, I don't hear the Arkansas accent.
Oh,
so
you
I can
don't
tell
hear
you
it?
that you were not from
Oh,
here.
really? Okay. So to be able to sit and talk to you, someone from the West Coast, I'm honored.
I appreciate that.
I'm really, really honored. So
Crenshaw High.
Crenshaw High School.
We played them in football.
Did we whoop y'all?
No.
No?
No.
Is that your memory, your recollection? If I go to the history books, will it say something different?
It would not.
It will not?
I don't believe it will.
Okay. I'll give you a pass since you're my guest. I'm going to let you have
I don't even ask you
that.
when you graduated, but
Well, I'm not telling.
I know you won't tell, but it's a coach who lived across the street from me all the time.
Uh-huh.
Coach Garrett.
Really?
Yes, all my life. He watched me grow up since I was probably a little boy's age.
Huh.
Yeah. He's like Crenshaw's like eternal head coach.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that man is legend to the school. Okay. I'm still not going to tell you how old I am.
No, that you don't got, as long as you know him.
I know who he is.
Did you know him? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. But yeah.
Yeah, him and Coach West, two legends definitely for his athletics.
I know about Coach West.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
So tell me this. You are Eazy's oldest son.
First child.
Yep. First child.
Yes, first child, first boy, first everything.
First everything.
Yes.
So how does it feel to have to be responsible for carrying like his legacy on your back? And we've watched you throughout the years just make sure that his name is honored, and it's a lot. Is it pressure sometimes?
No. Maybe when I was younger, you kind of look at it because everybody kind of highlights it as being pressure.
Right.
But the thing about it is like, I'm not living up to what my father did. You know what I mean? I'm gonna. It's like you'd say I'm gonna take his shoes and make sure they're clean.
Right.
I'm not gonna walk in his shoes. I'm just
Right.
gonna dust them off and make sure they're clean and still nice, and you go by and kind of still admire it. So
Right.
therefore, I want to continue his legacy. I can't do what he did. You know what I mean? That's like in stone and set. So, and then a lot of people ask me, hey, don't you want to make your own path? No, because if my father was here, I'd be playing football.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I wouldn't be doing music. I did it because of the fact that I felt his legacy was just not getting the proper due respect at the point in time. So, of course, as his son, as his firstborn, as his junior, I'm just going to push to keep his name relevant. You know what I mean? So, no, I don't take it as pressure as much people would think because I'm not living up to do what he did. I'm just going to sit there and say, hey, do you remember this man who started it for everybody else's favorite rapper? That's all, and I'm going to keep his name going. Now, in the mark of doing that, I started my own career because a lot of times people ask me, why haven't you done music? I toured the world performing with DJ Yella during this song, so it was very successful for me. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't turn away from it. I have fun doing that. I get the stories of how they were on the road, how he was, what I do is similar to him, and that was just one of the best things that I can do while traveling this world. You know what I mean? So now I take the stand because you got a lot of kids that seen the movie and never seen my father. Then go look him up and was like, hey, well, wow, now we want to know about you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. So I got the drive. The reality show came on, a couple of movies came on, and I got the drive to say, okay, well, let me do some music. But again, a lot of people that follow me this long understands that I'm not trying to be him. You know? I'm only his son. I'm Eric Jr., you know what I mean? Or for the individuals that feel like, oh, you're trying to be like your father. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, ask his mama why is that, Why I do certain things he does, because I'm his son. I got the same blood.
Right.
But other than that, no, I don't take it as pressure because of the fact of, I'm just keeping his name relevant.
Yeah. So much of him is in you. Like, I've watched all of his videos, listened to his music. I've watched your videos, listened to your music. And I'm just like, this is Eazy-E. The way you talk, the way you carry yourself, and you look just like him.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So how did you feel the film came out and it kind of broke down the legacy of NWA? Were you pleased with what you saw?
I mean, to be honest with you, no, my family wasn't. We weren't. Because, you know, he's not here to tell his side or make sure his stuff was critiqued the right way.
Right.
And the behind the scenes and personal stuff that we know, a lot of people who were close consultants for his estate weren't around. So, you know, you got individuals who paid their story and did the best that they can. You know, it's a blessing, no, because of the fact that the researched what the group was and my father was. So, you know what I mean? I give all praise to that, to God for that. And it made a lane for me as a son to sit here and, you know, have a successful time traveling the world, doing stuff that he can't do, you know, performing his music. I performed on my birthday with the whole entire group, Ice Cube, Ren, Yella, and Dr. Dre.
I saw some clips of that.
At Coachella, you know what I mean, which is a blessing, you know what I mean, because the birthday before that I was in prison.
Right, but you're here now.
Yeah,
right.
That's so long ago. So, you know what I mean, I take it for what it's worth, to what it established, you know what I mean, to the younger generation. But the story itself, no, we weren't satisfied with some of the things that weren't told and how some of the things were told, you know what I mean, because he did a lot. You know, he had the next world's biggest group, Bone Thugs and Harmony. You know what I mean? He had different groups, JJ Fad, which was the first group before
Supersonic.
Yeah, before that was the first single to break before, you know, NWA came out.
That was huge.
He had Arabian Prince, who was a member of, you know what I mean, NWA, that they don't talk about. It's just a lot of different things, you know, and to be his son, you know what I mean, before my father passed, he bought a bigger house, so he was not broke before he passed.
It was betrayed
away,
that he was broke, but he was a multimillionaire when he passed.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so at that point in time, we're 50 million. With what it is today, we don't know. 95, whoa, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just didn't like some of the things that weren't told the proper way.
So will you come back and maybe do something on your own to make sure that everything about him is showcased properly?
That's good. Yeah, good, correct. Yeah, smart. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
I'm doing. I decided as I travel to start writing the book first.
Okay.
And in the biopic, I'm just going to simultaneously tell his story with my story, because we have similar ways we grew up. I grew up in the same house that he was born and raised in. I was born and raised by his parents, my grandparents. I was the only child born by them, so it was like I was the only child in the house. And just different things that we go through, different things she had to go through that was similar to what he did and what I did, you know what I mean? I probably was a little bit more of a knucklehead in the streets, because of the younger generation, and we're just kind of a little dumber than the older school, to be real. But it's a lot of similarities to it, and how I kind of progress in music. So I'm gonna go back and forth by telling his time before the music, and then telling my time before the music, you know what I mean? And then into what drove me to do music, you know what I mean? So, which is the story of my father. So
tell me this, what was the process like every morning waking up and you are in the same home as your father, who was iconic? Was that hard?
No, it wasn't, and I give thanks to my grandparents, because they made it every way easy for me not to have sorrow. You know what I mean? I was spoiled.
Right.
You know what I mean? They did what they can. You know what I mean? You know, you have parents' night when you play football. They traveled and they did. You know, my grandparents come in. They were at every game. You know what I mean? They were at every event. You know, if something wasn't right, they made it right. So, you know what I mean? Me as a kid, I just battled with, you know what I mean, the thought process being the oldest child. You know what I mean? My father died. We buried him April 7, 1995. I turned 11 April 23rd. So, you know, I had a long time with him, as opposed to my brothers and sisters who were young. Right. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that I remember or that I went through, but my grandparents kind of, you know what I mean, catered to that. And no, it wasn't hard. It was probably like the best thing in my life to happen to me, to grow up with my grandparents, you know what I mean?
I think that's amazing. How did you feel? Because at 10 years old, you pretty much kind of have a little understanding of life. You had to share your father with the world. Was that ever hard?
Somewhat.
And you still share him with the world.
Yeah, somewhat. It's a funny story I'm gonna tell you, but we used to go to Disneyland. Okay. And when we used to get there, we used to go often. And when he'd take us, he'd take all of his kids. At the time, it was only 5 of us.
Is 11 total now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
11.
To be real, a lot of brothers and sisters I have, at least 4 of them, were discovered from us. after he passed away. You know what
Okay.
I mean? And then some were discovered maybe a few years ago. And so when we were about 5 of us. No, I'm sorry, it was only my younger brothers weren't born yet. So about 4 of us.
Okay.
3 or 4 of us. So we used to go to Disneyland and walk around, and people ask us like, "You never knew?" It's like, no, we go to Disneyland. We were wondering like, why did people stabbing our daddy? You know, like, Daddy, we're trying to get on this ride. Like, come on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's funny because we used to sit there and share with a lot of different individuals when we were out and about. But us as kids, we didn't know this was our daddy. You know what I mean? Like, why y'all want to stop our daddy? You know what I mean? Like, until you got older, and then, you know, like I started seeing stuff on the news when we went in to visit the president. You know what I mean?
It was major.
Yeah, it was. And even the biggest news clip when he, you know, was quote unquote contracted with HIV. You know what I mean? And how the world kind of took to it. So at that point, and then at the funeral, it's like, wow. You know what I mean? We didn't know this as kids. As kids, it was just our daddy.
Right, that's just your dad.
Yeah.
So you're losing your father at such a young age. Were there people to protect you? Do you think that there were ever people around to kind of try to take advantage because you were so young and you're his firstborn son? You have his name.
Advantage at what point?
As far as like maybe business-wise, maybe people wanting you to do projects, but not, you know, being honest about what they want from you.
Well, probably had tempted to, but you got to think, when I first started doing anything music-wise, I had a record label called Lil Eazy-E Records, and I did that with my god uncle. And he kind of laid it down on me and kind of taught me a lot of it. So, and he was a very close friend of my father. Then as I got older and I had my first record deal with Virgin Records, and I kind of didn't go through that. You know what I mean? I think me and 50 Cent had the last real record deal. Okay. And the deal was about $1 million, and I got it with no demo.
Right.
I just got it. So, and an individual, I got it with Pete Farmer, is a good friend of mine still to this day. Okay. He gave me 75% to his 25%, so I didn't really go through that. Okay. You know what I mean? As far as an advantage of, you got, it's a thing in the streets called individuals who want to prove themselves. You know what I mean? Oh, this is Eazy's son. He must think he's something, or he's tough. So that's where the knucklehead part of me was. You know
I can imagine you being tested.
Oh, what? Yeah. Nobody passed that test.
Right, I don't think so.
Nobody
not if you Easy, son, they're not gonna pass.
Yeah, I had a different type of anger in me, you know what I mean? And I went to private school, so being intelligent is I'm gonna know how to do something a little better than you know how. Right. You're dealing with anger, you know what I mean? I'm gonna deal it with, you know what I mean, my head. You know what I'm saying? The anger's gonna come out afterwards. So that's what kept me out of trouble. And then you feel like I just told you, I didn't go to jail until I was over. You know what I mean? Got lazy. Yeah, it happens. But yeah, other than that, that's the kind of testing or advantage individuals try to take on me. More so would just be like just ignorant stuff that we deal with as a kid and in the streets with you when you're youth. Other than that, not business.
Do you believe what sources say on how your father contracted HIV, or do you think it's somewhat a little bit more deeper? I've heard many stories, and some people say at that point when he passed away, he was young, he was rich, he was doing things that a lot of Black people in the entertainment business were not doing.
No, they actually all were doing it. Just to give you a little tip on something, they all were doing it because when that happened, you had a lot of, and not to say no names, individuals who were actually frightened or scared. You know, he was a ladies' man. So, and when I say ladies' man, not just the inner city ladies, in business. Right. You know what I mean? Individuals that are stars, you can say. So. No, everybody was more so shocked because everybody was doing it, you know what I mean? Or everybody had an involvement with somebody in the line. Of course. That, you know, possibly he didn't came across. And as us as family, we always kind of didn't think that was, you know, totally what it was. And then just to be real with you, it's, ever since I was a kid, like I said, he kept me in private school. My grandparents continued that. When I went on to public school, I went to public school in a special program. So it's just, I was just, not to toot my horn, I was just intelligent, you know what I mean? I was from Compton, California, but just a little intelligent than the average. And I studied it. I'm an AIDS activist, and I go around. I did a magazine in Ghana. I did talks at every different little health center. I did the Walk of AIDS, the AIDS Walk in Leimert Park in Crenshaw. That's where I used to live. Yeah, shout out to Leimert Park. Did the National Testing Day there. Brought the youth out to sit here and get them more educated and knowledge to what it is and how you can prevent it, you know, even if you're not being abstinent, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
just different things that I go out and do annually. So at a young age, I learned about it, and even learning about it, it's just some things that I seen when he was in the hospital, done at the hospital, and the timetable that had happened, that just didn't stick, you know, with factual stuff that goes on with the virus itself.
Right.
So no, we had a different understanding.
Okay. What do you think the biggest misconception is about you?
About me?
Yeah.
I think you answered that. Individuals thinking that like I'm trying to be something more than what I just naturally am. I'm my father's son. You know, you had a father that was great. Wouldn't you want to sit here and he was taken away so early from this world? Wouldn't you want to continue his name for the positive things that he did? Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know no son, Michael Jordan, or I'm not gonna say any other sons, but anybody's son. You get what I'm saying? That's not gonna. You had a father that was in your life and loved you and loved his kids. I was born in '84. You know, NWA started in '86, Ruthless Records. So you understand where the transition came.
Right.
When you had a son.
Right.
So you know what I mean? It gave me a different push to what he cared about his kids, to take care of his kids, to get out of the street life and the dope dealing life, to transition to something positive for his kids. Why wouldn't you want to continue that? Why wouldn't you want to sit here and do something positive in that nature? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the ones that's doing it, I give all credit to them. You know, the Puff Daddy, you know what I'm saying? Any other individual athlete, star, son. So that's the wrong misconception. Individuals thinking that, hey, I'm just doing it because of the fact of I'm trying to be this or that. No.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't see that because I see the music, I see the shows. You know, faith without work is dead. So I see you, to be honest with you, creating or have created your own path in this business.
Yeah, if it cracks, I'm more than happy for it. But, you know, I appreciate that, though.
I'm just being real.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And you're a father, so
Yes.
tell me what that life is like.
Oh, I love it.
Having
I
to
love
balance it, being in the industry and then being
it's
a dad.
tough. Yeah, I'm getting hit now because I missed 2 basketball games for my 12-year-old.
Oh yeah, you getting hit.
Yeah, my little one, she starts track. She has her last intermediate track meet tomorrow.
Okay.
I missed that. But I talked to them. I let them know. You know what I mean? I remember one time they got me to tears. I was out the country and I missed a few birthdays. And my daughter looked at me and she's like, hey, Daddy, well, it doesn't matter because you're doing something that's better for all of us instead of me just thinking about myself. She was only 10 years old at this time.
Wow.
So it blew my mind to think you have a lot of kids that look at it like, you know, selfishly, and, you know, my girl to sit here and grow up and understand at a young age, you feel what I'm saying? But I got 4 girls, 2 teenagers, a 12-year-old.
Do you have any gray hair yet? You got girls?
I think I got one.
I'm just saying, if you got girls, you got some gray hair in there.
I got 4 girls. And I kept trying and trying. I got 6 kids. So
Okay.
I kept trying and trying until I got a boy.
Okay.
I got 2 boys now.
Okay.
And
That's
so
a
I got
good
Eric
balance.
the third and my son Ryan. But other than that, I got 4 daughters that kind of dictate my life. My boys, I could whoop their ass. You feel what I'm saying? My girls, they turn me soft.
Yeah.
So yes, I do have gray hair somewhere in here. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But yeah, one's gonna graduate in a couple of months. One's in the 12th grade. They're both trying to drive. So they gotta understand that they gotta get to work to make sure, you know,
That
I
you
can
guys are
provide for
good.
them the way
Yeah.
you know I need to.
So tell us about NWA Entertainment.
Well, good question. Okay. NWA Entertainment was my production company. People follow me understand that I went through a lawsuit with my stepmother, Tamika Wright, and that was because I got the trademarking for Ruthless Records, and I jumped on it and I used it instead of having somebody from out the country or anywhere else do what they do. As much as I could speak on as far as that.
Gotcha.
But it was taken care of, and in my agreement, I let go in NWA Entertainment, and I picked up my company, which is barely could probably see it, which is Rich and Ruthless. And Rich and Ruthless is my company. It's a distribution company, it's a production company, it's a branding company, it's a marketing company, and I also have merchandise. So yeah, we see eye to eye on something, and I, you know, just thought to leave Ruthless where it was at because that's my father's marking, and NWA Entertainment where it was at because it was my father's marking. And again, just a growth process to understand, like, hey, you know what I mean, you can't take what he did, just leave it where it was at. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
We can't do nothing more than that. They kind of broke the ground with everything. And then I just went on and said, hey, okay, let me give homage to what he's done, and I use Rich and Ruthless. So that's what I got. So NWA Entertainment is no longer.
Okay. So where can we go to get merchandise and things like
Oh,
that?
they could hit me. My Instagram,
Okay.
Lil Eazy-E _ Lil Eazy_E.
Okay.
And also official richardrufus.com.
Okay. So what are you working on right now? I know we have the Growing Up Hip Hop. You're touring. Anything else that I'm missing?
A few movies. Like I said,
Okay.
a book's gonna come, a biopic, a documentary, which is somebody else that I'm just assisting them on. And then I'm working on an EP, like I said, just for the fans that kind of follow me and is like, hey, we want to hear you. Or I either heard underground music for myself, so I have an EP coming out called Yellow Brick Road to Compton that I'm working on now. So as soon as I leave Arkansas and have a little Super Bowl party, then I'm gonna get back home, film again, the Growing Up Hip Hop, like you said, and then working on the EP.
So who are you going for Super Bowl? I'm just curious.
I'm born and raised a 49er fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm born and raised a 49er fan.
Okay.
They can follow and see. I think I took it off, but I put it on for the festivities. But yeah, I don't do all the tattoos and all that shit.
Gotcha.
But I'm a born and raised 49er fan, all the way since '88.
Since '88. Okay.
Yep, since '88 I've been a 49er fan. Yeah.
I'm a Dallas fan. I'm not gonna hold it against you.
Goodness.
Listen, we on good terms. Don't do it.
We got to be.
We got to be, right? We doing good. Should I have kept Dallas to myself?
About a 49er, you know.
Okay.
There's a lot I might have to say about a Dallas,
Right.
cowboy, but I used to call them cowgirls, you know what I mean? But,
Well, I'm a woman, lady, so I'll take that.
cow lady.
We'll
I'll go
take
for
it in
that,
stride.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm a 49er, but yeah, since I was young. And then for the individuals out there, they trip off of, well, why aren't you a Raider fan? Well, let's just say when I was young, I got this clock, I got this towel that I still got, I got this cover that I still got, all the way from 1987. That who bought it for me? My father. So then people ask me, how did you become? Your father was a Raider fan. Undoubtedly he wasn't. You know, maybe we just wasn't gonna wear red back in the days where we're from. You know what I mean? But I just like he brainwashed me for this. You know, I watched the last Super Bowl we won in '95 against the San Diego Chargers. You know what I mean? I think the score was 55-7. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And that was last time he came up, picked us up, and we went out to his house and was together. And I watched the Super Bowl with him. You know what I mean? So I became a 49er fan because my father. He wasn't a Raider fan.
Who in this industry has been like a major influence on you?
A lot were when I was younger, and then it's kind of the whole term is like, you know, who's really going to step up and do something when my father passed away. And there's quite a few people. DOC was a good inspiration. When I first got in the music business, he taught me a lot. He taught me how to write, taught me how to record, you know what I mean? Just taught me like the perfectionist stuff that they went through when he was with Dr. Dre. Even took me to Dre and had a session, and I learned a lot from. So, you know, those individuals that kind of like stood up and really did something, you know.
Okay.
I just talked about this. And DJ Yella. You know, DJ Yella was, as I got older, he's like a godfather anyway.
Right.
But I just love him. You feel what I'm saying? Because he did so much for me. You know what I mean? He taught me how the growth of a man, the growth in God and my faith. And just everything across the board like a father would. So when I was young, I had a lot, you know what I mean? But as you get older, it's like, you know, kind of like false inspirations, you know what I mean?
Right.
And who's really there, you know,
Right.
who's really gonna stand up and help you as a man, help you as a father, help you with the things that are responsibilities of yours today. And not just, hey, you know, I was singing and you followed me, or that was my partner and this, that, and the other. You know?
Right.
Let's talk about the individuals that's really there. And I got a lot of few that are in the streets that you know, you wouldn't know if I named the name, but to say though is DGL is the biggest one.
Okay. I have to ask you this question.
Go ahead.
When you saw the movie, how did you feel about the performance of Jason Mitchell, who portrayed your father?
I coached him.
Okay.
Yeah, I coached him.
Okay.
Yeah. You seen We Want Easy?
Yes.
I was right there in my director's chair and I coached
Okay.
him. You know what I mean? For a point in time, I kind of like boycotted the whole set. And then my sister went to every set, my sister Erica Wright. And one day she overheard Cube and his wife talking. And they had a lot of mishaps, like the set got shot up in Compton. So the first thing they think
Heard
was
about that.
me, because I'm a knucklehead, of course. And they feel like I just have the ears of the streets, which was good at that time and true, but no, I did not have that done. And a conversation came up and was like, you know, we wouldn't think Eric would have something to do with that.
Right.
Like, you know, he's mad about this, that, and the other, which I really didn't care. You feel what I'm saying? It's understandable, but when I had a conversation with F. Gary Gray and Dr. Dre, it was, you know, they had a little insecurities about me playing my father dying, which I respected. You feel what I'm saying? As I got older and sat there, thought about it, like, I just don't know if I would have. Yeah, I can't.
Wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then you needed the most polished actor to play my father.
Right.
I understood. And when Jason first got to California, the first person he came to see was me.
That's real.
I brought him to a show I had at the LA Convention Center, and he watched me perform. I took him out. I took him. It's funny I'm saying this. Somebody asked me Roscoe's. I took him to Roscoe's. Nothing like CC's.
Nothing like. Do you hear that?
Like
Nothing
CC's.
like CC's chicken and waffles.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Right.
I took him to Roscoe's first time there. Took him to a party in the hills, and we chilled. We hung out. I went and met is that Corey, the one who played Dr. Dre?
Yes.
We all chilled at their house, their apartment they were staying at, and just chopped it up with them and got to know them, and then that was that. So I was boycotting for a while. My sister sat there and said, hey, they brought your name up. And it's like, hey, you guys got all misconception that my brother cares about this. Like, he's just an everyday father.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, he just doesn't have the time to jump up and want to come sit on set. So he's like, hey, can you call him? And I want him to come on set. So Cube Security called me. My partner I've been knowing for a long time, and Kibo. And Kibo called me and he was like, man, they was talking about you. I want you to come on set, man. Just clear the air and just check out the thing. So of course I went. A lot of people follow my Instagram. You'll see me taking a picture with Cube, and sure enough, daddy daycare all day, every day. My son's sleep on my shoulder.
Oh wow.
So because again, like my sister said, I got stuff to do. I just had my son, so he's only 1 or 2 years old, and I got to pick up my girls from school, and it's like, you know, if I'm not traveling, I'm at home with my children every day, because that's what I love. And so sure enough, I brought him on set with me, and we chilled. They escorted us, got us a car.
Okay.
And I sat there, and they were doing the concert performance. And sure enough, I got out there, and the fans that they were there just for the extras, me and Cube got out there. We said a speech to him, and you know, F. Gary Gray was kind of happy because it gave the fact that I kind of supported it. You know, which I was, to be real with you. And I went and sat down and cheered next to Cube and F. Gary Gray, and as Jason's coming out, they were like, E, do you want to tell him something? So I just told him, like, you know, when you my daddy performing, my daddy felt like he owned this stage. Like every girl in the audience was there for him. You know what I mean? It was Eazy-E and NWA. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have that oomph, you know what I mean? That swag to where, like, this is me. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, like, certain things that I did when I performed We Want Easy, and he sure enough went out there and did it. And he came back, turned around, and came back and asked me, like, what'd you think, E? And I was but yeah,
you did
chills,
that.
Nigga.
Right.
Like, so I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? And sure enough, that was a clip that they used. And you know what I mean? So yeah, I coached him on a few things, you know what I mean? And gave him some pointers on that. And before, when we were younger, he watched tape, he watched interviews, and we conversated just about how his swag was, because I know they kind of wanted to turn him to whole this womanizer and this, you know what I mean? He's just got ladies around him. Like, no, have that in you, but that wasn't him. Yes, he loved women, if I'm saying, but his whole thing was the money.
Right.
You know
and he got the money.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And he got that.
That was that. And it's funny I'm thinking about that, because I think I told at that time, I had one of the stylists watch my son, so she's like, well, I hold him, and she's holding him while he sleep. But yeah, so that's the only reason why I really didn't go, because you know, my children was kind of more important to take care than that.
Got it. But it is great to know that you saw it and you were kind of happy about the way he portrayed your father.
Nah, Jason's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
You know, we still keep in contact to this day. You know what I mean? He hits me up frequently. You know, might ask me something, advice, or, you know, during certain times, my father's birthday, or something that he remembers, he send his condolence and all that. So
that's
Jason,
love. He's
a real partner. Yeah. But he did a great job.
He's a good actor.
Yes, very much.
Yeah. You know something? What is your thought on, you have so many entertainers that are ODing?
Hey, you gotta.
What do you think the disconnect is with that right now?
Well, it's not the disc. Is what they're doing is they're connecting with what's popular. Like I said, the gimmick rap. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's cool to sit here and have all these. Like, it's depressing music. You know, a lot of these rappers come up and, oh, I'm depressed. I want to drink this and pop this and do this, and hear these kids thinking that's okay and doing it. You know what I'm saying? And,
right.
You know, it's just ignorant. You know what I mean? But that's what's going on. It's just that's the popular thing to do now, you know what I mean? To get on drugs, to do drugs. It's like, it's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have a few that are authentic to what they want, and it's crazy because of the few that are authentic come from the South, you know what I mean? But as far as in everything else that's popular, it's just like gimmick music, you know what I'm saying? It's like a system of things, you know what I mean? Once you get into the system of telling these kids to pop pills or shake their ass or go jump off a building and kill yourself or anything or kill this next nigga, it's just like, you know, that's what it is. Everybody has sorrow, you feel what I'm saying? But trying to fix it through killing yourself slowly is not gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's something I go through with my family now. I have one sister who feels like she's still hurting from our father. I got kids to live for. So if I hurt myself, what do you know what I mean? If I keep putting myself down in the ditch, you feel something from 25 years ago, then what can I give them? You know, he wouldn't want that to go on. You know what I mean? He took care of us and would want us to take care of ours. You know what I mean? So, you know, some people just don't have the strength to sit there and keep striving and go forward. So they use the drugs. I can't relate to it.
Right.
I don't even eat meat. Shit. I'm not popping no pills.
Well, I want to say thank you so much for sitting and talking to me. You know, we kind of bombarded you last night, like, hey, can you talk to me?
It was good.
Yeah, definitely. Special thanks to KC. We appreciate him. So thank you. Now, I always have my guests leave a gem. So can you leave like a word of encouragement to everyone that's watching?
Oh, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? With this time of days going on, it's Lil Eazy-E, and I want to tell everybody, just, you know, individuals that you love, tell them that you love them. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate, respect them. Spend some time. Some that you haven't called in a while, call them and check on them and see how they're doing. You know what I mean? Keep your faith embedded deeply into your heart. You know what I mean? God bless, and I love you all.
Hey, you heard it from Lil Eazy, and we out.